So first look at what we actually built. We have Dynamics 65 back office capabilities. So we have all which capabilities for uh, warehousing, inventory management, product management, order management, merchandising, customer management, and workforce management, all in an integrated back office suite, which is our finance and operations solution, which gives you the ability to manage your business all up across all the different areas of your business. It also gives you the ability to resonate that data back to one common data store where you can perform analytics and intelligence operations on that data. Building out from that is the retail solution. So we have our brick and mortar solution for point of sale, our call center, mobile commerce, kiosk capabilities, all which radiate out from the back office capabilities. So being able to have one unified product that's mastered in back office and have that information radiate out to the different retail channels. The one retail channel that we've typically not had in the past is a native e-commerce channel. So we've always worked with a third-party solution like Sonus or Hybris, Demandware, Episerver, to be able to bring that e-commerce channel into the system and to be able to function the same way that the point-of-sale call center and mobile commerce solutions worked. That led to some soul searching here in Microsoft as to whether or not we should have a native e-commerce solution. We looked at external solutions as well as building our own. We also looked at some other internal solutions, and that's actually when my world collided with the Dynamics world. 18 months ago, I was actually running the Universal Stores team here at Microsoft, and we were responsible for driving the Microsoft e-commerce ecosystem for the Microsoft Corporation. And so we had a platform which currently runs the Microsoft homepage with 100 million unique page views a month, the Microsoft Store and Cart with 160 million unique page views a month, Microsoft Office 365 at 140 million unique page views a month, and we also built the platform for MSN, which gets about 8.4 billion unique page views a month. We also have a large number of headless CMS capabilities, so we power the Windows start screen experience. So when you start up Windows and you see pretty pictures and text, that's coming off of our system. And when you fire up any Office 365 application and you're served, you say you want to create a new document and you get a document window that says what type of document we'd like to create, all those templates are served off of our system as well. In total, this system serves about 500 million customers monthly. We do about 30 billion page views monthly, and we do about 500 billion assets headless every month. It is a global SaaS solution, so it's currently in 6 data centers around the world. We have the ability to punch out to any additional data center that is serviced by Azure. All this is globally redundant and fault tolerant, so it's a true SaaS solution. If any one data center goes bad, we'll automatically fail over to a good data center, and we will fail over for both the marketer and the merchandiser, so your direct employees, so that they're not impacted. We'll also fail over for the customer so that your customer journey isn't impacted and they can continue to learn about your product and purchase. We also auto scale for performance needs, so as demand on the system increases, we can automatically scale. So we can scale the system up and down based on user demand. Typically we would automatically scale up for things like a Black Friday or a product launch, or if there's a large football match or something going on, and we can automatically scale that system to accommodate those needs without impacting your customers. We typically auto scale at 60% perf on the server. So that we're always scaling without running into any kind of lag issues. We actually went through a process about 3 years ago where we moved from Digital River to Microsoft. Digital River would now be a competitor of ours. But when we moved that system, we moved 20,000 products in 314 markets in 290 languages, and we did that in 6 months. And in the process, we significantly increased our page load times, or I should say decreased our page load times, and increased our performance. So we actually brought our global average page load worldwide down to 2.8 seconds for both our homepage and our e-commerce landing page. So we were happy with those results, and that was a large scale migration that we were able to do in 6 months in totality. So what we've done is we have taken that native solution that we built here at Microsoft, and we have fully integrated that into Dynamics so that we have a full omnichannel retail solution. When I say that we've integrated it into Dynamics, it's not two disparate teams at Microsoft are working on two somewhat related products and they kind of work together. This is a full integration. My team has actually moved within the Dynamics organization. We spent the last 18 months working on the native integration and making it multi-tenant and making sure that it works seamlessly with the Dynamics environment. The nice thing is that you can continue to bring a third-party solution in, but you're always going to have to pay for the connection point between the two and make sure that that connection is working between retail server and the third-party e-commerce provider. Here, we take that burden on ourselves, and we make sure that we have one engineering backlog, one testing routine, one simulation environment where we validate that everything works seamlessly whenever the code is updated across the two platforms. The nice thing about our solution is that all of your products, pricing, promotions, and discounts are controlled in one centralized place in back office. So you create your product, master it in one place, and then you can serve it across your retail channels. The nice thing about being able to serve one product across multiple retail channels is that each retail channel can have its own payment provider. It can have its own pricing, promotion, and discount associated with it. So you can control those variables and do different types of promotions and discounts across the different channels. So if you want to drive customers into a store, you can do an online or a in-store only type promotion. If you want to drive customers online, you can drive them to an online only promotion. And you can set your pricing and discounts accordingly. Also, as well as all the product data being mastered in one place and radiating out, all of your orders and all of your customer information radiates back in. So it all funnels back into one golden customer record in back office. So you have one centralized view of that customer across all the retail channels. And you also have one view of all of your orders across the retail channels. With that, you also have unified analytics. So you can see your in-store analytics, your clickstream analytics, your call center analytics, all in one centralized place. You can see what sells best where and when. And you can make predictive business intelligence based on data across the range of your business and not one channel of your business. Just quickly looking at a architecture view here. What we have here in this square is essentially at the bottom, we have our finance and operations capabilities for atomic unit operations. So inventory management, order management, procurement, warehousing, HR, all those capabilities. On top of that is our retail headquarters, and the retail headquarters really allows you a view into that data and allows you to create channels, bind assortments to those channels, create catalogs, create products, associate those products with catalog, create your categories, create your pricing, your promotions, your discounts, the ability to capture orders, and the ability to capture loyalty, and to manage that customer information. It's really the headquarters unit which allows you to manage all that data in back office. On top of that is our retail server, and the retail server is really a headless runtime engine or a headless commerce engine, which allows you to interact with customers across these different channels. It's what takes the data from retail server and serves that data out to the different retail channels. Again, it can pull merchandising, pricing, employee information, customer information, order information, carts, checkouts, loyalty, wish lists, and serve that data out as well as funnel it back into the system. The retail server can be extended. So if you have additional third-party services that you want to connect to for, say, taxation, shipping, gift card, any type of additional service that you want to connect to, you can do that. So we have a full SDK for being able to extend the core capabilities of the system and have those radiate out through the different channels. Our point of sale and our cloud point of sale, then, as well as our call center, then plug into the Commerce Runtime Engine to be able to surface products, prices, promotions, discounts, as well as to capture orders and customers and push them back into the system. What you see on the screen right now is Dynamics 365 for retail, and this is the retail solution that we have been selling for about 11 years. It's in use by thousands of companies worldwide. We have tens of thousands of stores that are running our point of sale. So this is well-hardened software and services that have been used by people around the world. This isn't changing and it isn't going away, but what we've done is we've brought in this native e-commerce channel to make it D365 Commerce. And so we've brought in a native content management system. So our content management system is built entirely in Azure. We use blob storage for content management. We've built our own authentication layer on top of it so you can authenticate at the document level. And then we have brought in versioning as well. So we never actually destroy a document. We simply create a new version of that document. So you have version history across the range of documents in the system. It can manage your marketing pages, your merchandising pages, templates, layouts, themes, fragments. It'll also manage images, videos, and file binaries for you. We then have our site builder solution. The site builder is essentially just a WYSIWYG editor that allows you to integrate with the content in the content management system, manage all those images, files, and binaries, videos, as well as manage the look and feel of your site and the content of your site. We then have a number of surround apps. The surround apps are capabilities that we've been using here in Microsoft for a number of years, and we wanted to make available to our customers. The first one is our native recommendation solution. So we have three types of recommendations that can be managed and served in the system. We have manual lists, so you can just create a list of products with whatever you want in it with no outside logic in it. You can create a list which is algorithmic in nature, so you can best-selling, top trending, new products type lists. And then we have our AI-driven personalized lists, which use machine learning to look at your viewing patterns and your purchase patterns and predictively display products to you based on what you're most inclined to buy. We have two types of personal or AI-driven lists. One is fully personalized, and that's picks for you. So if we have your user context and we have your browsing patterns and shopping patterns or previous behaviors, we will capture that and we will predict products that you're most inclined to purchase. If we don't have that information, if you're not logged in or if you've never been to the site before, if you're running in anonymous mode, then we will look at your current browsing session, and we will look at other browsing sessions like that and tell you what other people with your browsing session purchased. So picks for you, and people also purchased lists. All of those can be editorially enhanced. So let's say you have a top selling products list on your homepage, and you have a brand new product that you're releasing today. It can't possibly be top selling. But you can take that item and you can artificially insert it anywhere into any three of those lists to have it appear in a certain position in those lists to help get customer eyes on it and help the customer journey and start purchasing those products. So lots of powerful items within AI-driven recommendations. We also have a native ratings and review solution. So 60% of all online transactions are influenced through ratings and reviews. We can capture an aggregate rating. We can also capture user input reviews. Those reviews are all pushed through Azure Cognitive Services. So we will filter out profanity. We will filter out spam. We also have whitelisting, blacklisting, and the ability to keep content on brand. And of course, there's a moderation tool so that you can moderate before that content goes live should you want to. And then, of course, we have like, dislike, and report a concern issues should something happen to get through the system. Lastly, we have a native fraud protection solution. So this is something that Microsoft built for itself. We had a large number of Black Friday events where we were receiving an abnormal number of declines from banks. We actually looked at the data and thought that we could do better. So we built our own AI-driven fraud protection solution, which actually reduced the number of the amount of risk that we were exposed to, and also increased the number of conversions. So that's an additional option there, should you be interested in it. All three of those options are optional. You can use them or not use them. And they, of course, can be ejected, and you can bring in a third-party solution if you want to. So if you already use Bazaar Voice and you like using Bazaar Voice for ratings and reviews, you can actually use that instead of this system. You're not tied into using this, and this is the only ratings review system that will work for the system. So it's fully modular through the customization solution. The other thing that we've done that we think is unique is this little red arrow here that someday I will make more prominent. But essentially it says that the surround apps that we have created that have typically been e-commerce oriented are actually omni-channel oriented now. So the recommendations, the ratings and review, and the fraud protection work across all retail channels. So point of sale can show recommendations and ratings and reviews and utilize fraud protection just as easily as e-commerce can. So if you're talking to a customer, you can make recommendations based off of the products that they're purchasing, as well as you can tell them the ratings and reviews from other customers on that system. So it's full omni-channel. Lastly, we have our web storefront. The web storefront sits atop the content management system and pulls across the page templates, layouts, themes, content modules, displays that data, pulls data from the surround apps to provide additional enrichment data, and then pulls the product price and promotion information directly from retail server and displays it to the customer. When we capture a new customer or when we capture an order, that data funnels back into retail server. All of that is real time between the web layer and the retail server. So there's no lagging, there's no caching, there's no delay between making a product available in retail and having that surface in the web storefront, and capturing an order and having that resonate in back office. So we're going to jump into back office real quick, just to kind of ground us in the back office. We're not going to spend a lot of time in back office, but just so you have kind of a general feeling of where the information is coming from and how it's structured. So this is our dashboard for Contoso. This is Microsoft's demo corporation, which has multiple brands associated with it. We can go to our call centers, our retail stores, our online stores to look at our different channels. We're going to go ahead and look at online channels since we're here to talk about e-com today. So we can look at the different e-com channels that we have associated with our corporation. And we can go ahead and look at Fabercam. Here I can see the actual structure of the Fabercam online store. So I can see this channel. I can see the currencies that I transact in. So I can add in additional currencies. I can add in exchange rates. I can specify whether VAT should be included in a line item or if it should be a separate line item. So I can specify how my taxation rules should appear. I can specify my payment providers, so I can add in an additional payment provider and configure that information here against the channel. So different payment providers can have different channels can have different payment providers. So for instance, if in store you have a deal with Stripe for card present transactions, but you want to do a more favorable deal with Adyen or Bbit or Global Collect for online payments, you can actually have different payment providers, or of course you can use the same one across channels. You can configure the different languages in the system. So when you configure a new language here, that language option will appear in e-commerce. You can easily localize the content. Once you localize the content, you can also marketize it for use across multiple markets that use the same language but have different holidays and promotions. And then you can figure out the different financial dimensions that you want to associate with the channel. From a channel, we can actually look at assortments. So we can actually look at the assortments associated with this channel. We're going to go into Fabercam Extended, and we can see the retail stores that we've associated here. And we can also look at the product lines that we have here. I'm going to go ahead and click on fashion and go into fashion real quick. And this is going to actually show me the categories associated with this assortment. So here's where I can take the products that I've configured in back office, and I can associate these with different categories in my system. I can create main level categories and subcategories. And so I can come in and say for menswear, I want to create shoes, and I can present different types of shoes. I can have keywords, descriptions, titles associated with those. And I can also create the individual products and associate the products with them. I can then associate individual products with or attributes with the products. And these attributes allow us to actually have will convert into search refiners in the website. And we can actually see what that looks like in a second. So that's where our products are managed in categories. So that's just kind of an overview of once you have a channel, you can assign products to it. From products, you can assign prices and other information associated with those products so they can be served through that particular channel. The nice thing about this is if you have a product that you only want to sell in store or you only want to sell online, you can do that. Or if you have a product that you want to sell across both channels, you can do that as well. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. What I want to do now is actually open up a new browser window, and we can actually go look at the actual rendered website. So we can go look at Fabercam. This is the Fabercam website that we've built to go along with the Fabercam Fashion back office channel that we were just looking at. So it gives you the ability to build a modern looking e-commerce system. Each of these modules comes from our module library. We have a module library of about 120 modules, continuing to add to those. So we have a carousel, slide, content placement, video, product placements. This is a manually created list, and this is a personalized list, picks for me, that are coming off of the AI. You can actually bind a list to any module. So you can easily bind this list to the carousel and actually have those products displayed in a carousel if you wanted to. So lists are kind of ubiquitous and can be used across any type of page, whether it's marketing or merchandising. Fairly standard capabilities in terms of things like being able to navigate, and all pages are responsive by design. So we will automatically scale the page and the content based on the screen size. When you get down to, or when you're served on a mobile device, whether it's a tablet, a large phone, or a small phone, we will convert mouse intuitive actions to touch to intuitive actions, so that mouse clicks will become swipes. So you'll be able to swipe across the carousel just as easily as you can click on it on the desktop. All of the categories that we looked at in back office actually resonate in our header to give you navigation. So we actually have here menswear and shoes, and if we look at back office, we have the same structure of menswear and shoes. The nice thing is when you create this category or subcategory and you make it available in the system, it will automatically appear in e-commerce without the marketer or the merchandiser having to take any further action. You can, of course, schedule any event in back office so that those things have a timed availability. So if you wanted this category to go live at 12 a.m. Monday morning, you could do that. And then at 12 a.m. in 1 second, it would be available here on the e-commerce site for you to be able to view and transact against. We can come into the men's category, and we can click on the shoes subcategory, and it will actually take us to the category landing page. Once we land on the category landing page, it'll actually show us the description. It gives us the ability to add CMS-driven data to this, so we can add in some additional storytelling content, like a nice robust description, as well as images to kind of round out the look and feel of it. We can also then get a list of all of our products. Products are currently displayed in a standard paginated grid view, but you can do infinite scroll as well. We of course have search relevance filters. You can change the filtering that you want to display. And as I mentioned before, all of your product attributes can be converted into search refiners. So we can use the search refiners to quickly dial in the type of product that we want to purchase and get down just to that individual purchase. Search refiners that are selected are then converted to chips, so we can easily clear a chip out to be able to back it out and see the different results. Not every attribute has to be presented to the customer as a search result. So you can, in back office, configure a product attribute to be hidden. So if you want a product attributes that's purely for your reporting or purely for your back office administration of products, you can simply say, don't show this on the web, and it will no longer appear on the web. And so your customers don't have to be exposed to it. So you can fine tune in that manner. But very easy to be able to create attributes, associate them with products, and be able to search for those quickly. I'm going to go back to the home page real quick, and what we can actually look at on the home page is our search as well. And search, the landing page will look similar to what we just looked at in terms of a category page. But we have search, which is fully integrated with the Commerce Bing search. So I can type in, if I spell it correctly, I can we can search for Oxford shoes, and it's going to pull up any search that's been done recently by other customers that have Oxford in the title. It's going to pull up any product that has Oxford in the title, as well as the price of the product and a chip of it. Clicking on any one of these would take us automatically to that product description page. Because we found products that are related, it'll also show us categories that are related. I can click on any one of these to go to these individual page types. We're just going to click on search overall, and we'll go into the search results page. Again, very similar to what we had for the category landing page, but now it's showing just the search results. Again, all product attributes are converted into refiners, so we can again easily dial down to just the type of shoe that we actually want to purchase. All this is themable and extensible, so you don't have to have this style of layout. You can have different information presented with your product. You can have infinite scroll versus paginated scroll. If you want search refiners on the right instead of the left, you can configure that. You're not locked into the look and feel of the site. All of that is configurable. This is just our demonstration site that we think is representative of the type of thing that you can build out quickly. So from the search results, I'm going to go ahead and click into this product real quick. So here showing a product description page, carousel for product images. All this information is coming from back office. So nothing in this page is CMS curated. It's all dynamic and coming from retail server. So all this product has a discount associated with it, so we're showing the strike through. You can show additional discount messaging and tags with it. We're currently showing the ratings associated with it. We're showing all the SKU options, so we can drill down to just the SKU we want to purchase. Product specifications, because we're Microsoft and we love product specification tables. And then, of course, we have related products, and people also like lists here at the bottom, as well as our reviews. So this is a very basic solution. You can actually have different templates. So you can customize what content you want to display in this page. You can customize how you want this page to look like and what's shown and what's not shown. So you can also enrich this. I'm going to show you that enrichment now. So when we say enrichment in Microsoft, we're really meaning learn and buy. So assume we have this product, we have this shoe, we've been selling it for a year. This shoe was sold well, but sales have kind of plateaued, and we would like to entice the customer into making a purchase. We'd like to tell them the value proposition of the product, and we'd like to tell them why they should be buying leather Oxfords from Fabercam and not from our competitor. We can do that by injecting additional marketing content into this page. So we can do that by going to a new tab, and we can actually fire up the authoring environment. And it's going to show me all the sites that are associated with our tenant. So we're going to go ahead and click on Fabercam here, and it's actually going to show us our Fabercam site. And it's going to show us all of the pages in it. So here's where we can actually see a view of our site, and we can see all the marketing pages associated with our site. We can also see all the products. And so the products are actually going to show very much the same way as you would expect to see them in back office, or sorry, in the front site and in back office. So here we can see men's shoes, and here we can see categories of men's shoes. So it's all reading from retail server, all centralized and managed in one centralized place. Now I could come and I could click on shoes, and I could easily drill down and find the shoe that I want to edit here. I can also use the same search. So we use the same Commerce Bing search across the system. So I can easily type in Oxfords and see the same 3 results that I see elsewhere. And I can come in and I can select the product that I want to edit, and we'll go ahead and open up the authoring experience for that product. When we actually author the product, we're actually going to get a WYSIWYG view of the product template, as well as all the content associated with it. And so we can see exactly what the customer is going to see, and we can interact with it the same way that a customer would interact with it. So everything is still enabled and interactive, so you can actually test the page as you build it. So again, all this comes from a very static template. This is a template that we've defined for shoes in Fabercam, but we can associate it with a new template. So we can go customize product page. We can select the template that we actually want to assign to it. I'm going to select a new template, and we're going to go ahead and click OK. It's going to reload the page now, and essentially what it's doing is it's breaking the page away from the default template for menswear and shoes, and it's going to now associate it with a default or with a custom marketing template. So the custom marketing template now has less data. So I've actually no longer have ratings, I no longer have text specs, and I no longer have the lists. Now, I could absolutely have those in this page. You could add them in. You can put them in your template so that it's always there. That's highly configurable. I've just removed them to demonstrate that we can have a page that's completely different. The content is still coming from back office. So everything you see here is still data-driven from retail server. So we haven't created a CMS copy of this data. It's still coming real-time from retail server. But what we can do is we can now inject marketing content into this direct from our CMS. So I could just go ahead and add in a module and start creating bespoke content. The other thing I can do is I can select a fragment. And think of a fragment as a page snippet. It's a piece of content that can be reused across multiple pages and products in a site. So the Fabercam site itself has about 60 leather products in the system. So we might have a leather storytelling fragment that we want to associate with all of these pages. Using a fragment allows us to come back and modify that fragment in one place, publish it, and have it resonate across all pages that it utilizes. So if I come back and change this leather storytelling fragment, and we'll do that in a few minutes, that change will resonate across all the pages that use that fragment, instead of having to go to each page individually and publish them individually. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to add that fragment to the system. The page is going to load that fragment. We're actually going to see it in place. And as the page loads, we'll actually see all the marketing content that we've associated with that page. So we can really entice the customer as to why they should purchase this product from us. Tell them about our brand, tell them about our product, tell them about our quality, and really help entice the customer. We did about 2 years of A/B testing here at Microsoft with our higher end products. And we found that by adding in marketing content in a learn and buy scenario, we actually increased our conversion rates by 9%. So we really believe that adding in additional marketing content to the product description page helps you sell more products and helps you convert. So we really believe in it. So we wanted to be able to inject that CMS data into the system. I'm going to go ahead and finish editing this, and we'll check it in. Everything's versioned and has an audit history associated with it. So added marketing data. And so it's going to actually store that, and we can actually see the edit history. So we can actually go look at the edit history, and we can see the history associated with that product, and what changes were made, who made them, when they made them. So we have some level of audit control and history. So with all that information, I can now actually just publish this page. It'll publish out real quick. Once it's published, then we'll actually be able to go and see those changes on the site. So I'm actually just going to go back to our tab here. We still have the product descriptions and different lists shown here, as well as the reviews. We're just going to hit refresh, and the page will reload, and we'll actually see the new version of the page with the marketing content associated with it. So even though we've changed the template, the page URL stays the same, and a refresh shows all the new data that we've associated with it in an attempt that we can capture the customer and convert them. So let's assume I'm now putting my customer hat back on. I've been looking for shoes. I really understand why I should buy these from Fabercam. So I can go ahead and I can select the type of shoe that I want. I can go ahead and select that product. It's now in a position where I can purchase it. I could also add it to my wish list. I'm not currently signed into the system, so it's going to ask me to sign in. I do have an account already, so I'm going to sign in. We use AD B2C for custom logins. We also support OAuth. So Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, any of your OAuth providers, or Microsoft, you can use those account systems as well. So we'll just go ahead and sign in real quick. It'll sign in, it'll bring us back to the site. And then we'll be able to actually complete our conversion. So I've added it to my wish list, so I can actually go and purchase this product as well. I can do two types of sales. I can add it automatically to my cart and check out as I normally would with a credit card, or I can do buy online, pick up in store. We'll do that now. So we can actually fire this up. We're fully integrated with Bing Maps API. To be able to do both geo-IP detection and geo-ring fencing. So we can actually look at the system and we can tell you the stores that are closest to us. We actually built this for a demo we did in San Francisco a few days ago. So we're going to type in San Francisco, even though I'm sitting in Redmond. And it's going to show us all the stores. It's going to show us the location of that store to our proximity. All this information comes from back office. So the stores are actually defined in back office by latitude and longitude. We have the addresses stored there. We also have the store hours, and we're dynamically pulling the stock value of the product. So we can go ahead and pick it up, and it'll actually add it to our cart. And we can go ahead and we can check out with that item. It's also telling us the store that we're going to pick it up in, and as well as our discount value and the total value savings. It will also show us frequently bought together products. So it might show me a few products that I might also be interested in. Let's assume I'm interested in a watch as well. I could quickly go and look at that watch. This is a watch that I like. It's on sale. That's a good price. We'll go ahead and pick that up. I don't need to pick it up in the store. I don't need it immediately, so we'll just add it to the cart as a shipped item. So I now have a multi-line item order where some items in the order are being picked up in the store and some are being shipped to an address. I can easily change those. So here on this screen, I can say I want to pick it up in the store versus having it shipped, or vice versa. I could ship this item directly to my house. So very easy for the customer to configure how they want to show it. We can go ahead and check out. Because I'm already logged in, it already has my information stored. So it gives you the ability to have multiple addresses stored, gives you the ability to configure all of your shipping options in back office. I'm going to go ahead and select overnight because I want my stuff soon, but not immediate. We have loyalty. I used up all my loyalty points yesterday doing demos, but if I had loyalty points here, I could convert them into savings or use them some other way that you want to use loyalty. We also have native gift cards. You can, of course, bring a third-party gift card solution to the table if you already have one, but we do have native gift card solutions. I don't currently have a gift card that I can use set up in my system, so we're just going to go ahead and check out with Visa. Because I purchase often from Fabercam, my information is here, though we could add new payment methods. All of this is powered by Adian. It's the payment connector that we are integrated with. I don't actually store the PII data on our system. It's actually stored with the payment provider. So I can go ahead and save my card details. It'll make sure my card is valid. It already has my contact information. All my information looks good, lots of discounts, lots of savings. So I can go ahead and place my order. And it's going to transact my order, and I'm going to get an order confirmation telling me that my order has been successfully placed. There's my confirmation number. As well as one last chance to upsell the customer by presenting them a list. This list could be personalized and it could be contextual to what I've purchased, but we're just showing that we also have an also trending list here so we can make those purchases. So that's kind of a run through of what a direct customer would see. So now that this confirmation has gone back into the system, within the coming minute or so, I will get an email with the order confirmation. It'll have my confirmation ID and the other information associated with my order, and telling me or directing me to the store that I selected to be able to go and pick up my purchase. We, of course, have email transaction triggers for order confirmation, pick, pack, and ship operations. We also have shipping tracking and follow-up actions that you can do. And of course, you can create custom triggers for custom actions based on the data that's in the system. Once the data is in the system, it takes a minute or two for our scheduled job to run to actually get that data out to the point of sale system. So before I jump over to the point of sale system, I'll just jump over to the authoring tool, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the other capabilities in the authoring tool, just to kind of give you a view of more than just the product editing experience. So we did mention that we have marketing content as well as merchandising. So we can actually come in and select the home page. So we're going to open up the home page. A couple different ways that you can get to content in a page. I'm going to go ahead and check this out so we can edit it. You can use the page outline here at the left to be able to come in and select a given item to be able to change it and be able to select it in the hierarchy of the page. You can see that when I select an item here, it automatically changes the properties that I can edit. I can do the same thing simply by selecting the item in the page, so it's all contextually aware. So I can select an item and I can choose what I want to edit in it. Here, maybe we want to say, we just want to say fall, spring, or winter, so we can actually just change our content, and the content will change immediately. Maybe we want to say fall breeze instead of summer breeze, so that just changes automatically. We can change the placement of our content. We can change out our image by loading up our asset picker. The asset picker allows us to look at all the assets in our asset management solution so that we can actually go and select the different assets that we want to display here, or we can upload a new media item directly here and associate it with the hero. So very easy to come in and change context and move content around. If we wanted to move this slide forward, we can move it up. Now that slide will actually be the first slide that's seen in the system. So very easy to come in and change the ordering and layout of the content. And then of course I can finish editing this. Again, same audit history we had on products is also available in the marketing content. So all those edits are there, and we can go ahead and we can publish that, and it would be available immediately now that the publish is complete. So very easy to make content changes and marketing changes. URLs. So we have divorced URLs from directory structure. So URLs are now essentially just flat file pointers that point to a page instance. So you can easily control the page that something is pointing to, create new URLs. You can do aliases as well, and you can also create redirects or manage redirects. simply by specifying the type of redirect that it is in the system and republishing it. That redirect will take effect. All of your products, all of your marketing content, all of your URLs are managed through an automated sitemap generator. So all of your sitemap will be created and managed for you. You can specify if you want to exclude a given page or product from the sitemap. But all of that's taken care of you. So when a product is created in back office and made available, it'll automatically appear in your sitemap. Same with any marketing content that you create in the system, as well as any redirects that you create or any aliases that you create. So very easy to manage your URLs. We do have a template editor. It's a no-code template editor, which allows you to go in and quickly create a template. So you can create the template based on your needs. The template is fairly outline driven right now, though in the coming months we are going to have a visual outline editor. But it allows you to build the structure of your page so that you can actually define what content goes where in a page and then create new instances of that page or bind that page with products. We do have the ability to have rules. So you can create min and max occurrences and number of modules to be displayed, whether content is displayed automatically or if it's lazy load. So you can control all those types of items, and you can also bind content with that template. So if you want a specific image or if you want a specific action or link associated with an item in the template, you can go ahead and add that content here, and it'll be inherited anywhere where that template is used. The nice thing about rules is it helps you to enforce brand. So you can lock these items. So you might say, I never want a product placement with more than 3 columns. And therefore you can lock that in the template, and any user who creates a page from it will be forced into that brand consideration of having 3 columns. You can also specify min max occurrences. So let's prevent someone from creating 6 mosaics on the page or creating 6 carousels on the page and building pages that may not be as useful for the customer as other pages. So very easy to come in and create and modify templates. We also have page fragments, and we talked a little bit about page fragments earlier, but we can actually go look at that leather storytelling fragment real quick. And we can actually, I'm actually just going to jump over here. I'm going to do a quick search for that Oxford. And I'm just going to go straight to the product page here. So this is the page that we created with the marketing content that we added into that page. So we can see what it looks like there. Maybe I've gotten a note from my management. They would like this to be different. They would like all the titles to be a single word. So we can go ahead and do that. We can change this to quality. And while we're here, they also want these staggered, so we can do image left. And we can change this to just luxury. And we can change this to image left. So now they're all 1-word titles and they're staggered, so we can just finish editing. And we can publish this. It'll tell us that it's published here in a second. Now that it's published, we can come back and we can hit refresh. Page is going to reload. And sometimes it can take up to 15 seconds for the cache to invalidate. And so here we see on page refresh that we actually have the new luxury fragment content displayed. So I was able to change the fragment without changing the actual marketing page or the merchandising page. So I can change the content in one place and have that resonate across my site. We'll come back to authoring here, and lastly, we will look at the media library. So the ability to do asset management in one centralized place. When you associate a product image in CMS, you can also use that product image for the product across all the retail channels. So the same image will appear in point of sale as well as in e-commerce. So giving you one place to control all of your images across the system and across all of your retail channels. We also have the ability to control the image for responsive display. So our web front end is predicated on React and Bootstrap. There are 5 native breakpoints for desktop, laptop, tablet, large phone, and small phone. We saw that when we were responsively resizing the image or the page so that the page content flows based on size. We can actually control the layout of those images and how those images are used by having one single high-res image instead of having 5 different versions of the image like other systems expect you to have. So we could actually look at this particular image and we could actually come into it. We have 2 types of ways of managing the image. One is our automated focal point. So we run this through Azure Cognitive Services and we'll generate a focal point based on the product that it sees in the image. It does a pretty good job of doing that. It'll usually center right in the product. But let's say for some instance, we might want the focal point to be over here. We might want the focal point to be there. That's the point at which the rect will emanate when it's scaling and cropping that image for the responsive breakpoints. The other thing I can do is I can edit by module, so I can really tweak it and fine tune for a given module. So I could come and I could say, for a given module, I want a very specific viewport, and it's going to show me for a hero in wide view type in an extra small viewport, so a small phone. This is the image I would actually get automatically for the shoes. It's not good to show shoes without toes. So I can actually just say, I want to scale this I want to crop the image down to this area and scale it down. So this is what I'll actually show instead of what was shown before. I can always preview what that's going to look like in the system. So I can come in, or I could say, you know, for a mobile view, I really just want to show one shoe. So I can choose, I just want to show that shoe in that view. And I can preview it and it'll show that instead. So it really gives you a lot of flexibility to control how your product looks across all the different viewports without having to manage multiple images. Why might you want to do that? If this shoe style is going to change slightly, you can come and you can update one image instead of having to update and manage 5 separate images for each viewport. So it's a significant time savings. We internally at Microsoft went from a team of 20 people who managed product images to 2 because we got rid of all the variants of the images and went to one high-res image in the system. So a couple of efficiencies you can do there. We also have the ability to manage videos. So when you upload a video to the system, we will automatically transcode the source video into a range of file formats and bit rates. And our rendering engine will responsively serve the video to the customer based on the device type, screen size, and bandwidth that they're looking at, so that their video viewing experience is optimized for device, screen size, and bandwidth. We will automatically capture closed caption files for you, and we will automatically capture transcripts for you so that your videos can be presented in a fully accessible viewer. So that customers get a fully accessible experience and can view and purchase your products regardless of any accessibility needs that they have. You can also serve just raw file binaries. We actually support 197 file formats in our CMS. They're all served through a public persistent URL, and they all have an E-type override that allows you to either display it in the modern browser or force it to download to the user's desktop. So the nice thing about the public persistent URL is you can utilize that URL anywhere. We could actually go back here and we could look at our public URL. You can take that URL and put it in emails. You can send it to people. You can serve it to press, and that image will resolve no matter where it is because it's its own independent URL. Lastly, we have binary swap. So let's say you sent out the URL catalog, you included it in an email, press release, you found a typo in it, and you want to change it, you can simply swap out the binary, and within 15 seconds it'll invalidate in the CDN, and it will be available now for anyone who has that email to click on that link, and they'll get the newest version of that file without you having to send out a new email. So those are just a couple of items. Last thing I want to cover, this is brand new for GA. We have publish groups. You can think of publish groups as a branch of code. So if you want to specify new content, if you want to do a site refresh, if you want to launch a new product, if you want to create marketing motions for the future, you can do that in a publish group. You can associate pages, products, assets with that publish group. And it will act as a branch where you can modify that content in the silo. You can preview it entirely across the site in the context of that silo. And when you're ready to have it published, you can specify the date and time of that content to be published and have it go live for the customer. So if you think of something like a Black Friday event for Microsoft, a huge sales event for us, we actually start working on that in May. Though it doesn't go live until November. So we create a publish group, we create a branch of that content, we manage that content separately. Microsoft doesn't stop doing marketing events or new product launches between May and November. We continue running our business online. But when November 27th comes along and we're ready for that content to go live at 12:01 a.m., it just automatically goes live with all of our content. We all get to sleep knowing that the system is just going to manage the content for us. I'm going to jump into the order transactions right now. So that order will have processed through the scheduled job. And here we can find the order that we just placed. We can actually see all the order information in back office, and we can actually go look at the individual order itself. And we can see the individual line items associated with that order, so we can see the items that we purchased. We can actually see the order status of those items as well. So all the data is resonated in back office. There's no caching between the systems, so it's all real time. And lastly, we can open up one last tab, and we can actually go look at the point of sale system. And we can actually see the buy online, pick up on in-store order resonate in the point of sale. So we can actually come in and we can look at it here. I'm going to go ahead and look at orders to pick up, and it'll show us the order number that we just saw in back office. And here's the order that I just made. And I could go ahead and pick this order up. And it'll go ahead and allow me to hand it to the customer and check the customer out with that product. And so the customer is now merrily on their way with the product, and we can convert them. I could go into clienteling and add in any notes that I had for the customer and be able to tell them about the experiences that we had and be able to take any notes that I had on that particular customer, look at their different recent purchases, look at their order history, take any notes I might have on them so that the next time they come in, I can have an informed discussion with them.